know what my hair is doing. Okay. I don't know what to say. My 5th cup of coffee. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Oh God. Oh dear. Hi. I don't really know what this video is gonna be. Thinking more of an introduction versus an update, since it's only been a week and a few days since I've been on T. So, hi. My name is Pace, P-A-C-E. I'm 21 and a digital arts student in Oregon. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about my experience so far on testosterone, which is like, I mean, nothing. It's been a week and a few days. And maybe this is placebo, I don't really know, but I have been feeling like a weird thing going on in my throat. This could be like maybe a cold, or I went on a long car ride last week by myself and sang the entire 2 hours. So maybe I strained my voice. I don't know. But I have been feeling something a little different in like the base of my throat when I like speak more slowly and a little bit like focus on speaking a little bit lower. Like weird vibration thing that's happening right in here, which is pretty cool. I mean, maybe it's not real, but I'm gonna believe it because this is my transition and I can do whatever I want, you know? So anyway, it's not really important. I did my first solo shot this past Thursday. I went totally fine. Nothing awful happened. So, success, you know? And I guess that's really it about the whole testosterone thing. Other than it, I had a really frustrating time getting a hold of it. So I'm a student at the university here, and I went through the university's health system for to get therapy and HRT, access to HRT. So what happened is I went to therapy for 3 months past term, and then started the process of trying to get testosterone at the beginning of January. And so what happened was I went and saw a doctor and did my blood test, and then it took like 2 weeks before I could set up another appointment to see the doctor to go over the test, and then that day he was able to give me the prescription. But then what happened was I went to go give it to the health center. I was super excited, like ready to start that day, and I give it to the pharmacy, and apparently some other awesome trans person had come and gotten their prescription filled that day, and the kit that came with it with all the syringes and everything, and they only had one kit, so I had to wait another week, which was really rough, and I was pretty depressed that whole week, which was dumb, and I shouldn't have been because it was going to happen super soon, but I was. But then I finally got it. It was great. Anyway, that's also not important, but there's a little something right there. Anyway, that was a really frustrating experience. But moving on, more of an introduction for myself. As I said, my name is Pace, and I only started coming out as male, as trans, this past summer. So up until June of last year, I identified as female. I kind of had subconsciously realized that I didn't feel comfortable identifying as female, but it was the only thing that I knew how to do, and didn't really have the language to even be able to identify as trans, or to know that that was what I was. And it wasn't until June that I had known a few trans guys before, and hadn't really ever like talked to them too much about their own gender identities and all that. And finally in June I became friends with someone who identifies as male, who's born female, and kind of like ended up talking to them a lot about their their thoughts and their whole process with coming to terms with their gender identity and all of that. And at that point it finally gave me the language to be able to realize that I felt the same way. And so that whole summer I ended up going to Colorado with my previous partner and spent the summer there. And it was really helpful to kind of get out of the place that I had been living in with all my friends and family, and really get to be in my own head for a while and get to try out new things. Like my partner started using male pronouns for me and used my preferred name, and I got to wear the clothing that I wanted to, and it all felt great. Like, felt really, really good to be able to do that. And so when I came back in September, I started coming out to my family, and it all went really well. And I was super surprised and really lucky. Like, they've been such a support even when I came out as queer to them a few years ago when I started dating my first girlfriend. Like, they've always supported me, and that's been a big help. So when I came back, came out to family, of course, I started coming out to my professors, some classmates, the people I worked with, and everyone's been taking it really well. I've only had a few like negative experiences, and that comes with living in such a liberal place as well. So I haven't had a problem with anything really. I have fucking bigots at like the courthouse and shit. I hate people, but that's not important. Yeah, so that's kind of my story with coming out. I guess I should touch on how before I came out and when I was still identifying as a woman, basically the entirety of 2013 was a shit show. I was really depressed. I had just come back from Uganda, where I had spent 3 months volunteering on a sustainable farm, and that itself is a very gendered society. And before going there, I had always kind of presented relatively androgynously. Is that a word? I don't know. But when I got there, I had to start wearing skirts to be respectful and just presenting much more femininely, which is something I had never been comfortable with before. And it felt fine while I was there, although it was sometimes really hard to really be out in the community and have to deal with looking the way that I did, and just being gendered as a woman so often. And so when I got back to the States, well, a lot of my closest friends are female presenting, and so it was, I felt like I had to try to force myself to fit in with them, because they all dress rather femininely. So at that point I started doing the same. I wore skirts and dresses and just feminine clothing in general. I wore jewelry, which was like the first time in ever. Still didn't wear makeup. I was like too far, you know, but I hated myself. That entire winter I just kind of spent in self-loathing. I kind of locked myself away and just really, really not happy. Wasn't as active as I'd ever been before, and just like couldn't push myself to do anything really. And that carried through the spring, and then finally in the summer when I made that friend and went to Colorado, like that was when I finally got to be myself again, really for the first time. And I got to be really happy, and right now I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. And that's kind of cool. So I don't really know what else to say. That's really like, those are the important things I think, and I'll probably do another video in a few weeks, kind of like an update, maybe around 1 month on tea. So hopefully some changes will have happened, probably more acne. That's really like the only thing I can see happening in that amount of time. But you know what, that's okay. So anyway, y'all are awesome and I love you. Cause you're awesome. Anyway, happy Saturday. Yay. Bye.